I bought an advertisement spot before I had a company. I call my friend Alex Sale, who is the most business savvy person I know, and I said, "Hey, I think I just started a ball marker company. What do I do from here?"
Hey friends, welcome to the Whole Story Podcast. Robby here. Jonathan is traveling today, so he was not able to join us for this episode. This is a good one, although some might consider it our most boring episode ever. We were talking with Brandon from Boring Ball Markers. A lot of fun. His buddy Alex was not able to join him, but we still had a good time, Brandon and myself. So I think you guys will like this episode. They're doing some great things in the golf accessory game. Check them out on social media and on their website and see what they're doing. But a lot of fun chatting with him. As always, we are brought to you by friends at Summit Golf Brands, Beach Ratty, Zero Restriction, Fairway and Green. These guys are great, fun to work with. Thanks to Dan Drellinger and the team at Summit for all that they do for us. If you check out any of their websites and use the code BESTBALL20, you can get 20% off your order. Another friend of the program, Western Birch. We talk about them all the time. If you saw our roundtable episode talking about the PGA Championship, you will see Josh Decker bragging about the recent custom order that he got. He put in something for his company and got it very, very quickly and just loved the process. Lewis and the team there are incredible. So use westernbirch.com. And if you use Best Ball in the shipping cart, you will get a free gift with your order. So coming up, Boring Ball Markers. We're talking with Brandon. You guys enjoy. All right, Brandon, Boring Ball Markers. Welcome to the Whole Story Podcast.
I appreciate you having me on, truly. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we were just chatting before we hit record. We think we met. We probably did down at golf camp, the Del Campo Scratch Invitation. I do have my golf camp ball marker from
You're
Boring.
holding a boring ball marker.
I
You waited
am.
until we pressed record to bust that out. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Hey, it's awesome. I have not used it yet. It's one of those, like, I want to sit it on my desk and just look at it. It looks really cool. So,
Well, hopefully we can send you enough that you can keep some on your desk and take some out to play.
there you go. Well, cool, man. Well, let's start with this. I know you and Alex, y'all work on this thing together. Jonathan and I typically are recording these together. So right now it's just you and I for the interview. But I kind of want to get your story in golf before we get to the boring story. Like, when did you start playing, get interested in the game? Why don't we start there?
Sure, sure. So I had a club in my hand from a really young age. Like I remember going to golf camp. I remember 9, 10, 11 when the parents needed to get rid of me. And I remember I know my grandpa and my father always played. And so it was always around. And I remember not liking it, being very bored with it, which is hilariously ironic because here I am with boring ball markers years later. But, I think I'm happy that I had all those times because I learned where to stand, when to not to talk, how to hold the club. But other than the rules of the game and like the class around it, I didn't take anything from that. So like when I repicked the game up about sophomore year of college, and at the time Alex would have been a freshman, and that's kind of our genesis story is golf at Indiana University. There's a great university course there. I actually think since we've left, they've redone it and turned it into like a spectacular championship course, but that's neither here nor there. And so I picked it up in college. After college, I did about 2 years in New York City, and I hated being in the city. And part of it was because I couldn't play golf. And then the world handed me this opportunity in 2016 in Austin, Texas. Moved down here, brought my clubs. Golf was super accessible. And I'm going to shout out a buddy here, Matt O'Brien. He's the best golfer I know. I don't need to inflate his head anymore, but he looked at me one day and he said, "Look, you can play that golf for the rest of your life, and a lot of people do. You're never going to break 90, but that's fine. Most people don't. You can be a slicer for the rest of your life and you'll have a blast. That's how most people play golf. Or you can break this thing down from scratch and it's going to suck for a long time, and one day you'll be a good golfer." And so that was like 10 years ago. And for 2 years, I could barely hold a club, and I invested in lessons, and It kind of clicked like 3 years after, 4 years after, and for about, 6 or 7 years now, I've been playing pretty solid golf. So that's my golf story.
Man, that's a great story. So you're a Hoosier. You went to Indiana.
We are Hoosiers, both Alex and I.
Very nice. So we got a lot of friends that are Indiana grads, and actually, we just hung out with in Scotland on our golf trip. We met up
Ooh.
and played with one of the guys who does development and I guess fundraising for them. He was awesome. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, the Hoosiers, it was good. It was a good time for me. I look back on my time in Bloomington quite fondly.
yeah, always a good basketball team. Football's been good lately, so a lot of
Yeah, it's
fun.
nice to have a little football action. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So you and Alex met at Indiana, and when did the idea of boring come up? Like how did Joe come up with the let's
Yeah.
redo the ball marker game?
Sure, sure. So that was years and years later. So insert a decade's worth of friendship and golf and being fraternity brothers and going through life together. And then in July of 2022, I had my bachelor party in Mesquite, Nevada, and we played Wolf Creek. And Alex was there.
It's an expensive
And
bachelor party.
well, honestly, Mesquite, it's 90 miles off the strip. It is like where people who aren't allowed in Vegas anymore go to gamble, I think, or don't
Gotcha.
want to drive into Vegas. So everything was super cheap. The round of golf at Wolf Creek was crazy expensive. But they had a wolf ball marker, and it was a silver die cut into the shape of a wolf. We bought 6 or 7 of them. Everyone loved them. I brought them home. It really resonated with people, just this non-circle ball marker. And so the idea kind of sat around in my brain for a while. And I even think at some point I did a little research on like, does this thing need to be circle? And I'll spare you the details, but it doesn't have to be circle. There are some rules mainly about it not helping with alignment. But as far as, the qualifications, all of our markers, like fit the USGA rules as far as I know. So September 2023, this is fun. I am on my 1 year wedding anniversary with my wife in Stockholm, Sweden, and I was reading a golf newsletter that I won't drop, but they're fairly popular. They've gotten a lot bigger now, and I'm a huge fan. Um, and they had advertisements for advertisement spots. So I bought an advertisement spot before I had a company. And I remember like scribbling down some of the same lingo that I'm going to say later and that we use today, like you're not boring. Why should your ball marker be like we've used these same boring circle ball markers for 100 years. They're the same everywhere you go. Like why? And so I did the FaceTime from Stockholm, and it was basically the first time I had said any of this out loud. He liked it, which was super positive for me. I get off the call and I call my friend Alex Sale, who is the most business savvy person I know, and I said, "Hey, I think I just started a ball marker company. What do I do from here?" And so that was September of 23. We put our heads down and went through a couple iterations and a couple suppliers to find a product we really liked. And in January of 2024, we went live with 8 SKUs of our own.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a story. All right. So, what have been, besides just I guess, immediate success of launching before you had a product, what have been some of the successes so far of Boring?
Yeah, I think what's been really exciting for me and for Al has been how much it's resonated with folks. Like it's really nice to hand the product to people and people like it. And so selling a product that folks like and is new and allows people to express themselves in this game that's getting more fun and more expressive and more diverse is really easy. And so that part's been super rewarding. And, I'll, pat our backs a little bit. We've been live for a year and a half. I think we've done a little over 275 designs. That's SKUs on our site and custom orders. We're in 15, maybe 16, depends when you ask this week, private clubs and a couple of like legendary municipal nine holers in LA and in Austin that we're really proud of. Um, there are boring ball markers on tour. Watch this space, more to come. We've worked with two LPGA players, Polymac and Gigi Stoll, who have been like awesome ambassadors and super fun and kind of shown us the LPGA world. And um, our product seems to really resonate with, you know, the ladies and their fan base. So we've had really good progress and inroads there. Um, yeah, and then honestly, I work a full-time job. Alex has other clients that he still does a lot of work for, and so learning how to balance and prioritize things, that's been new, and starting a business from scratch in a space that we both love and like feel really passionate about, and just seeing folks enjoy our product has been awesome.
Yeah. Well, y'all's story is very similar to what Jonathan and I have done. So, Best Ball was originally like a golf app that we created, that I created with another buddy back in 2012. Kind of put it on the shelf, ran out of kind of time and money, family, responsibilities, things like that. But yeah, Jonathan and I, 2023, beginning of that, we relaunched Best Ball as a storytelling business. And so the podcast started in March of that year. And so we've just lapped what 2 years, and we're 100 plus episodes of this, and we've had 20 plus years in sales where we talk to clients, talk to prospects, we interview kind of like this, and it's like,
Sure.
what, we like talking to people, we like meeting new people, we like hearing stories, especially from businesses that are starting up in the space, exactly like you said, in a space that you're passionate about, golf, right? So
Sure.
this has been like you guys, it's been a wild ride, and like we're having a
Yeah.
blast with it. So
Yeah, I mean that's you add that to the list of things that have been awesome. The golf community, I'm sure you have learned is fairly small, but it's super welcoming,
yeah.
open to new ideas, diverse, growing, and like just kind of getting our foot in that door and it opening a lot quicker than we expected has been like just so exciting and like super rewarding.
That's really cool. So you'll have your custom SKUs or your custom stuff where you can do for people. You have your own SKUs of kind of the bulk, I would say, order stuff, or things you've already designed and probably have inventory of.
Sure.
Is there one that works better than the other? I mean, is it hard? Do you all have minimums on your custom stuff? How does all that work for you?
Yeah, so I'll talk about the custom side, right? So that's a space that we really want to grow in. We've spent a lot of time and money investing in a pretty awesome custom site, and so you can go to our Boring Ball Markers website and shop 25 plus SKUs that we always have inventory of. And then you can also go, from there to our custom site and fill out this form. And we have this vision, and in that 275 designs is multiple people's Ryder Cup for their families and friends, a couple bachelor parties. I think that's a huge growth space for us. And so we've worked really hard to make the process seamless for the client. We have like an awesome design team. Our production team's awesome. We have packaging options. Like those are the things we really focused on when trying to find a supplier. And so what that's allowed us to do is we have a pretty low minimum. I think on our site it's 24. If I say 12 and it's not 12, Alex will kill me. I think we raised it to 24. But we can do low minimums. We always say we've yet to run into a design that our team can't bring to life and turn into an awesome ball marker. Everyone loves our product, and so we're really excited about what that can look like, and we have a vision of more bachelor parties, more golf trips, because obviously those are happening in countless times, and so we think we have an awesome product for that exact market, and we're trying to figure out how to connect ourselves to that market.
Yeah, and I feel like golf trips, especially, maybe not bachelor parties, but there's a lot of opportunities for repeat business, right? So maybe somebody has a bachelor party, then they turn it into an annual golf trip.
That's right.
Uh, but yeah, so it could be repeat business from people that say, all right, we're doing this trip again, but we want a different, slightly modified design, or
That's
yeah,
right. And the other thing that you just touched on is what we found and has been super cool is someone will get a boring ball marker and we didn't have the custom site for the first 100 designs. People just reached out. And so we were like, okay, there's clearly a demand for this, and so let's create an outlet because as we can talk business side here, as you lower the minimum, that it costs us in terms of time and resources and energy about the same, right? Whether it's 24 units or 1,000 units.
Yep.
And so what we're trying to do is lower that bar, both for the client and for us, and so that we can churn more and more. And as we have more people going to that custom site, then we can lower our minimums even more because we have such volume coming through that our pricing works out well. And so what what we're trying to figure out how to do is if you go to Google and you type in custom ball markers, well, you're going to see all sorts of options of a circle boring marker with any logo you want. They'll take the PNG, they'll drop it on there, and they'll sell it to you for 99 cents a ball marker, right? Like we did that for my bachelor party in Mesquite. Alex did that as a surprise. I still have him in the garage, right? So our product, super fairly priced, even at 24 units, but it's not $1 a unit. But what we're selling is a much more premium product. And you have to feel it and see it to kind of realize that, oh, that's a great price for what I'm getting. These things are way cooler than a silicone circle ball marker with our logo pasted on it that, I could make on Etsy. And so I think we're going to spend some time over the next, couple months doing a campaign or some social strategy around educating potential custom orders and
Yeah.
clients.
Well, I was going to ask, how do you get the word out? Is it word of mouth? Is it? I mean, you mentioned your ad before you even got rolling with this thing. What's the
Which I
next thing that?
should mention,
Okay.
we didn't end up running. We were not
Okay.
we were not up and running in time for that ad.
I gotcha.
But I will go back to your question. I will shout out Alex. So Alex, my partner, who's been with me since, the idea was basically incepted, had spent a lot of years in the social media marketing content space. He actually was with the soccer team in LA. There's two of them. I'm going to get it wrong. I should know. LAFC. And so he was with the team before they were a team. And he basically had no budget to do all of his work and all of his activations. And so all of our stuff has been very cheap, very ground up. And Alex has led the charge on all of that. And so we've just, as our product, as more and more people, the first year, our motto was let's get boring ball markers into people's hands and onto golf courses. And so we gave them out, we handed them out. If you reached out to us on Instagram, we shipped them out to you. And as that happened, it sort of generated more and more business. And we met Zach and we made, sock ball markers and he traded us socks. And then we ended up at sock camp or golf camp. Alex is going to kill me for that one. Um, but yeah, that's kind of been the story of how we've grown this thing, and it's been surprisingly easy in a lot of ways because the boring idea really resonates with people, and the product is awesome.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned pros using it, men and women. Who would be, if you can drop a name, who would be the most famous person that you know is using a boring ball marker?
Most famous person that I know is using a boring ball marker. I mean, I'm gonna shout out Polly Mac. She's up and starter on LPGA. She is number one in distance by a lot, and she's hits this 2 iron off the tee when she doesn't want to hit her driver, and it is the coolest golf shot in the world. And she's been awesome. And I have to shout out her caddy Chi Chi, who is how we originally got connected with Polly. Um, she's not. She's the most famous we have so far, and she's going to be way, way, way more famous one day.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So we talked about some successes and people are getting these things and hearing about it. What have been some challenges growing this thing?
Yeah, um, a lot because we're new and
Yeah.
where do I start?
If you said none, I wouldn't believe you. So,
No, that wouldn't make for a good podcast either, and it wouldn't be truthful. Um, you know, I think for me, like speaking aside from Alex, it's definitely been figuring out how to balance this with my relationship and my life and my full-time job. Um, you know, we're juggling a lot of balls, and I'm sure you've heard it, but we say some are glass and some are plastic, and you can only drop the plastic ones. And now I have these new colored, boring glass balls and plastic balls, and some of them can't get dropped. And so it's been figuring out how to balance that and kind of keep up with the stuff we want to do, and the opportunities that have kind of fallen on our lap. And then as a business, normal stuff, working out, uh, pricing with the supplier, figuring out how to bulk get our orders together and in a proper cadence so that they're going in at the right volume, but we're not overwhelming our supplier or our design team. Packaging, like, period, full stop,
Yeah.
packaging. Yeah.
Well, there's always challenges, but that creates opportunities, right? To figure out how to make it better and how to keep going. So, where um, where do you see boring in about 3 years?
Yeah. So what's I think it's easy for me to say, like, what's next? What do the next 6 months look like? And for us, it's box sets. We think there's a real opportunity to like sell multiple ball markers at once in a really cool package. Packaging, we've worked really hard on that. Alex has spent a lot of time nailing that down. We have a super cool collab coming up. So stay tuned to launch our first box set with 5 ball markers in there, themed. So I think that's cool. And then from there, it's selling more ball markers, man. Like getting into more clubs, campaigning for clubs. I don't know what or how that looks like, but and then we already touched on it. It's driving traffic and folks to that custom site and showing them that we have a really awesome product for that market.
I like it. I like it a lot. Um, do you think you guys will expand beyond ball markers?
Yeah. So what I think is exciting is we've built this boring community. We call it Boring Nation. Hi, I'm Boring Brandon, Boring Alex. Welcome to the show, Boring Best Ball. Um, and what we found is people really like the boring thing, right? Like we have this text all over the place. To non-golfers, it's the most boring game in the world. But to us golfers, us sickos, we know that it's anything but. And so we wear our sweatshirts around the LPGA event, and everyone stops us and they want to know what it's about. And it seems to strike like that exact chord with folks, which is awesome, right? Like we never could have anticipated it would have done that. And so the short answer is yeah, like I think we've built a community of people who trust us and that we can deliver a quality product, and good packaging and good branding and a fair price. And if the opportunity presents to do that in other spaces, I think we would jump on it if we had the capacity.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's fun to be fun to keep track of what you guys are doing. So let's jump back to your golf game because I want to
Sure.
ask you some questions about that. Or one
Please.
question we ask everybody is, and again, we're all about golf stories. What's the story of your most memorable golf shot?
Ooh, my most memorable golf shot. Um, I love that question. Uh, I think I am gonna go with it's 2 shots, but they're both short shots, so it makes one full shot. I was playing the cradle at Pinehurst with my dad,
Nice.
barefoot. Uh, he was not. Don't know why. Uh, just felt the need to clarify that. If you're listening,
Come
Steve,
on, Dad.
you had your shoes on. Okay, we got it. I was barefoot. The photo show. We were playing with like 6 other people. You know how they put you with 8. Uh, Second hole, I hit the stick and it stops a foot short. I make a birdie. Next hole is the 45-yard uphill to the clubhouse. I think it's the third hole.
Yep.
Spun it to the top of the hill, spun it back in the hole for an ace.
Very nice.
Yeah, with my dad, with the whole gang. It was super.
Yeah, people sitting up in the Adirondack chairs watching.
They saw, and God love them, didn't react because they wanted me to
What?
see when I got up there.
Oh,
And then
come
they went
on.
crazy and they said, "We saw it go in the hole, but we wanted you to have your moment." And I was like, "Golf people, that's a
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I just in immediate reaction. I wouldn't be able to hold it in.
No, no, I couldn't believe it. But maybe they were locals and they sit on that hole and they watch people suck it to that funnel pin all day long. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true. Well, man, the Cradle's a magic place. We're actually going there for one of our good company gatherings next month. So
It's so
Jonathan has not played it yet. I'm excited for him to see this thing.
the
So
Cradle or number two?
all of it.
Number two, good
Yeah,
luck, Jonathan. It's
yeah.
Disney World for golfers.
He,
It's so hard.
we just went. So he won. He got selected in the old course reverse lottery. So we went and did that
Stop,
last month. Um,
dude.
and so he broke 90. You talking about breaking 90? He broke 90 for the first time ever on the old course.
On the reverse routing?
No, on the regular routing, we got to play it that way too.
Dude, that's such a cool trip. I obviously entered as well and didn't get
Yeah.
it. So you
It,
play the first day the full
we
right way and then
we
you
played the
round.
castle course on the first day. Then
Or,
our schedule was reversed on the second day, and then regular routing on the third.
oh, that's
And
so
he got the email back. Whenever they picked that he got selected, he's like, "This can't be right." Emailed him, called him, like, "Hey, tell me this isn't fake." And they're like, "No, sir, Mr. Hill, you've been selected for this." And
that's
so
legend.
he and I went, yeah, enter it again because it is. And
Look,
that was a trip we met the Adam Van Zee from Indiana.
if you think I'm not entering every year now that I've actually met someone who got selected and like I know that it's a possibility, oh man, I'm in there every year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That the crazy thing we were talking about, and this is a side note, that they weren't selling any old course reversed merch. Like they gave us a head cover, gave us
Well, that's what I was going to ask
Walmart.
about that head cover. Like,
Yeah, they gave us a head
just for the
cover. They gave
day.
us a few other things, but like if they had stuff in the shop, like it would have been bought out very easily.
Well,
So
but that's what makes it so cool.
that's what makes it so cool. I agree. All right. So one other thing we do is a quick non. It's kind of a rapid fire. So I'll
Sure.
ask you these questions. Favorite course that you've played?
Arcadia Bluffs in like north or west of Traverse City.
Yeah, Michigan.
Yep. The Bluffs course. The South was being built when I was there.
Okay.
Just like I'm a that was before my golf transformation. So I didn't play good golf, but it was just like vibes, perfect weather, super cool course. Like it's routed. First of all, the lake might as well be the ocean, right? It bluffs off and it's so big. To me, I'm from Kansas, like that's the ocean and it's bluer than the ocean and it's so cool. But the course was just like routed perfectly, nothing blended together. The bluff holes were just as good as the land holes. At 5 o'clock, as we were finishing up, they come out and play the bagpipes, like just unbeatable round.
Perfect. Where in Kansas are you from?
I'm from Overland Park, so right in the top right corner.
My wife went to KU.
Rock Chalk.
Rock Chalk. So there you go. All right. Bucket list course.
Shockingly, we made it this far on the list without me talking about my man crush on Mike Strantz.
Oh, yes, sir.
Like you're there. So I played 3 of the 9. We have ball markers in 2 of the 9. Shout out Caledonia. Shout out Tot Hill. 2 awesome tracks. True Blue is the third that I played, which is special. So sign me up for those other 6. I think there's one in California
Yeah.
that might be like super private. And so one day, that's the one.
Monterey Peninsula, right?
That's exactly right.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, if you've not done Tobacco Road, we did that last summer and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, now that I've like fallen in love with his courses, it's crazy that I was so close and didn't play it, but we'll go back to see our Tot Hill buddies and our True Blue guys in
There you
Caledonia,
go.
and we'll go.
I still need to get Tot Hill, talk with Dave Based, and I'm sure you know Dave, does art and stuff. And
Sure.
him and a number of other guys are like, y'all come up, let's go. So
It's
it'll
well, the
happen
guys
soon.
there are awesome, but the track, I mean, that would have been the next on my list behind Arcadia Bluffs. It's awesome.
Very nice. All right. When you hit that bucket list course, dream foursome.
Um, okay, I'm gonna just nerd out and I'm gonna say Mike Strantz. I'm gonna say Ben Crenshaw, who's from Austin and designed the 9 hole add-on at my home course here. And then I'm gonna say I'm gonna bring my partner Alex,
There you
but
go.
I want the record to show that I bumped Rory for him, so
Okay.
he needs to know that.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Rory.
Yeah.
All right. What is the most random custom design that you guys have done?
Uh,
And this is a
that's
family show.
Yeah,
I'm just
we
kidding.
we haven't made. I'm trying to think. We really haven't done any Vice or
Yeah.
NSFW markers yet. But our favorite odd one is for the Lettuce King of Pennsylvania. His wife commissioned the ball markers, and it was a piece of lettuce, or sorry, a head of lettuce with the company logo on it, and on the top was a crown because he is the lettuce king. And
That's fun.
that was a fun one.
All right. What is your favorite marker?
My favorite marker, my favorite custom that we've made, there's a lot that I really love, but I love the one we made for my home club, Onion Creek here in Austin. They have a super cool logo. Look it up. It's kind of like Augusta. It's the yellow state of Texas, and then the flag where Austin is. And we did it on the black backing, and it just like came out super saucy. So
Very
I'll go
nice.
there. And then as far as like our own SKUs that are on the site, I love the duck because like it's golfy, it fits, it's a great shape. Like I really just like the duck.
Nice. All right. Favorite club in your bag?
Putter.
I was going to say if you're using the putter, that means a boring ball marker is being used at the same time, probably.
That's why I said that.
There you go. I like it. Jonathan's favorite question: favorite snack on the golf course?
Oh, I'm very consistent. Easy answer. It's normally roasted cashews and pumpkin seeds in a bag. And if I'm feeling really spicy, I'll get a Reese's, like 2 cups, put it in the cooler, and like at the turn, I'll eat one and give one to my playing partner.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
some self-control and
It-
very nice of you as well.
Look, if you deal with me all day in the cart, the least you can get is one Reese's.
Reese's Cup. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite golf course logo?
Ooh. Oh, Sedgefield, that Sly Fox, we made those markers on black, just like so boss.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Finish this sentence. The best part of golf is.
The people. Yeah.
I
The
agree.
golf people. Connects us all. Like, what other game can you show up at a random course at a Saturday by yourself and like leave with 3 friends who aren't within 20 years of your age gap? Like, it's just wonderful.
I completely agree. Golf is people. We say that all the time. So.
I love that.
Yep. All right. Bonus question. We're recording this, and I'm actually going to edit this thing down and put it out tomorrow. Which the PGA Championship is starting tomorrow or today, if you're listening to this thing now. Who do you have winning the PGA Championship?
So I'm a sicko. We haven't talked about my golf betting habits, but I live most of my life in the first round leader market. So we can maybe go there or we can take that offline. But I I like I like Bryson. He's just been so good and he moves it right to left. And although I think it's a little more of a placement course, I don't think it's just like an automatic advantage that he can move it right to left. But I also like sneaky think that someone like not in the top four, but in that 5 to 30 that like isn't a bomber and isn't in anyone's model is gonna like contend and potentially do it. And like, I
Who is
don't,
it? Who's your dark horse?
yeah, like Hideki, if
He
he's,
was putting in a downpour the other day, so
yeah, I don't like that at all for him. It's like, go stay dry, my man.
yeah.
Tommy, like, I think it fits good for Tommy, but
Oh man, that would make Jonathan's day. Jonathan's got the flowing locks. He says Tommy Fleetwood is his spirit animal, so he that would make his day.
plus it would make for really wonderful content over at No Laying Up. So,
That is true.
yeah,
That is true. Yeah, I mean it's been 10 years since anybody besides an American has won. So Tommy Fleetwood would be a very popular choice. So
yeah, that would be cool.
very nice. Well, Brandon and Alex, who's not here, thanks for being on the Whole Story podcast, man. We appreciate it, and we love what you guys are doing with boring ball markers.
Dude, thank you so much for having us. We
Yeah,
appreciate you giving us the platform, tell our story. talking golf
Yeah.
anytime.
So
Uh,
where can people find you?
we are at boringballmarkers.com and we're on Instagram, boringballmarkers. Nothing special. And if you
Easy
really
enough.
want to get to me or Alex, it's Brandon or Alex at Boring Ball Markers.
Very nice. Yep, I love it. So, yeah, we'll have links to that stuff in the show notes. But for Brandon, this is Robbie. You guys have been listening to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.